All right, Richard, we'll be live in a minute.
Oh,
No,
so mate,
no intro music tonight.
mate, just we could sing, Paul. We could sing
No,
the
no, we're not
theme.
going to sing, mate. No, I tell you, what, I'm bloody glad Danny's not on tonight.
Oh, mate, that's terrible. That's flipping. That's shocking, mate. Poor Danny.
Bloody
Flip's sake.
Danny, Danny, are you in? I wonder if
Leave.
he'll be in the chat, Danny.
That's mate. Listen, that's terrible.
Ah, there we go. There we go.
Is Danny
No
on? Is he?
intro. Yeah, I don't know. Danny, are you there, mate?
Danny.
If you are, you were meant to hear that.
Yeah. If you're there, that was my fault, mate. I said
Wound me up into that one, didn't you?
I did. I said he hadn't got the balls to do it. Says Danny will hit you a big uppercut.
Yeah, yeah, of course. I've got that coming tonight.
Oh,
Evening,
yeah, the
everyone.
boxing match. When's the boxing match happening, Paul?
When we see each other, mate, I ain't seen him for ages.
It's bottled it, hasn't he?
Yeah, that's what it is, mate. He saw the training video, didn't he? And he
That's
like,
what it
yeah,
was,
I'm
mate.
not having none
Just
of
do that
that.
again, Paul.
What, the bobbing and weaving?
Nah. That was a bit like Keir Starmer on the punch bag there, Paul.
Oh, mate. Good evening, everyone. Right, should we get into it, Richard? I mean, we got where
Let's
are
do
we?
it, man. Let's do it. A very relaxed intro.
575 people watching already. Thank you
Let's
very
go.
much for joining us this afternoon. We got lots and lots and lots to talk about this evening. Before we get into the really meaty stuff, Richard, and we have got some meaty stuff to get into tonight. Just a quick one on Mike Graham being suspended from.
I knew
Mate,
you were gonna talk
I've
about
got to
that.
be honest with you. I think it's hilarious.
It is. I mean, do you know what I think's hilarious? Listen, we don't know exactly what's happened, but we've got a pretty flipping good idea. This is okay. Let's say hypothetically that there's some old chubby hack that used to work for the Sun, and he's had a few sherbets on Friday night, yeah, and he's gone. Oh, I'm too late for my taxi. I'm gonna have to get a tube. He staggers down into Westminster Tube Station, and he jumps on a rattler, and he just sees it's full of people that he doesn't really want to be sitting with, and he starts tweeting, he starts photographing. Now, and then he wakes up the next morning,
And he thinks,
and,
oh, shit.
and he has that horrible sinking feeling in his stomach. Do you know the feeling I mean? You know, where you go, what did I do last night?
Look,
Something about being on a tube, and then he looks at his phone. It's what have I done? I've just how can I pull this back? I know what I'll do. I'll say someone stole my phone and hacked me.
hack me account. Yeah, look,
Now,
I've got to be honest with you.
I want to say, Paul. I'm not saying that hypothetical chubby guy that used to work for the Sun is Mike Graham. I'm not saying that at all. It could be Calvin McKenzie. You know, I'm
Yeah,
just
it
saying
could
it's
be
not
anyone,
Mike.
couldn't it? Yeah,
It's not Mike
yeah.
Graham, mate. But I think that's a plausible scenario. I think it's far more plausible than Antifa hacking his phone to get rid of him out of Talk TV. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
yeah.
his biggest problem, right? And I'm neutral on Mike Graham. I mean, he's been pretty dreadful to Tommy down through the years. I don't like him or dislike him. I think he can be quite funny. He's sharp. He's a pretty good journalist. But I think how he screwed himself is if he has lied about this and he wasn't hacked and he got drunk and had a bit of a faux pas on his phone, which he could have just, if he just got up the next morning and said, he could have even just done a video, made it really funny, say, sorry lads, I did something very, very stupid last night on my phone. I hope you all realise I didn't mean it. But no, I think he's been hung on his own petard.
Well, I mean, I look at it this way. Mike Graham is one of those sort of blokes that I can enjoy watching. Right?
I think he
I
can be
like,
great sometimes.
yeah, I enjoy watching him. But do I like him? No. And the reason I don't like him is because he's been an absolute arsehole with Tommy in the past. He's lied out of his teeth, right? And now he's got a bit of karma. He's obviously not very happy. So he's been accused of exactly what he's been accusing Tommy of for years, right? So, Mike, cry me a river.
Yeah, exactly. And listen, put your big boy pants, start a YouTube channel. We'll let you on this. Would we let him on, Paul? Would we let him on? I'm not sure.
Only if he'd let me question him as to why he called Tommy a racist.
Yeah, that'd be a good interview. That'd be a good
So,
interview.
Mike, if you're watching this, brother, right, come on, give me a bell, and you can ask Peter Blexley for my number. Give me a buzz. Come onto this channel. You explain to me why Tommy Robinson's a racist, and yeah, that might go
Well,
some way to.
if we're gonna quiz him, we could waterboard him. I'm like that'd be a good show, wouldn't it? Waterboarding Mike Graham.
Well, I'll tell you what, you're not going to starve them to death, are you?
No, absolutely not.
That'll take
Absolutely
about
not.
2 years.
Absolutely not. No, do you know? Do you remember years ago, Spitting Image, and they used to do the Sun Reporters. I
Yeah,
believe they were actually based on Mike Graham. You know, the Sun Reporters, little
yeah,
piggies.
yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
believe they were based on Mike Graham.
No, look, at the end of the day, I don't like to see people losing their job, but he's a hypocrite, right? And I don't like hypocrites. At the
Well,
end of the day,
here's the thing, right? Here's my take on it, right? I think the way he spoke, and not just Mike Graham, Juliet Hartley
oh,
Brewer, and others on
thank you
Talk
very
TV
much. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
have been not just attacking Tommy. Listen, me or you would not get on Talk TV. I got on once, and then they realised who I was, and they very quickly terminated the call. Right, that was after the Armistice Day thing, and I got on with that big camp fella from Belfast. Can't remember his name, but anyway,
Yeah.
So they wouldn't let us on, Paul. Right, so all these people, it's like Maya Two said, all these people on these channels like GB News, Talk TV, they won't have anything to do with the like of us. Just like Reform and Farage want anything to do with the like of us. They don't really want to rub shoulders
Yeah.
with the common people. Well, not people that have that are opinionated and actually have something to say, right?
Yeah.
So they'll push us to one side. They're not going to talk to us. Now, having said that, two of my friends, well, my friend's wife and one of my friends were on with Kevin O'Sullivan tonight talking about Southampton, and they did great. And Kevin O'Sullivan was really really good with them as well. He was he
But
was
you know
sounding.
why Kevin O'Sullivan's good? He's a Fulham supporter like me, mate. We're all good people. That's what it is.
Don't even start me on full.
But like you're right about Julie Hartley Brewer
Yeah.
and also the other one, Peter Cardwell, right?
Yeah,
They can
Cardwell. That
both
was the one that I was on with. That was the one that I was on with, and he realised who
they,
it was, and he turned on me.
they can both bugger off, right? Because
Yeah.
they're a couple of hypocrites, right?
the thing the thing about Mike Graham is right. The way he's treated Tommy is absolutely reprehensible. Now, what I do object to, and he has said recently, he said some good stuff. He said about that guy that was making the big fuss up in Aston. He said, "Well, listen, if he wants to go and do anti-Semitic hatred and hate Jews, he can go back to Pakistan and do it." And I thought that was great. I thought that was a really
Yeah.
really good comment. And so he has said some good stuff, but again, it's reprehensible. These people are a massive problem on the right, Paul, because they are the ones that are dividing us, right? And you've got to ask why. Why will they not? I mean, to be honest with you, I never tried to get on Talk TV. I did it once, got on the show once, but I've never done it again. But why are they excluding Ben Habib? Why are they? I mean, what about Howard? Is Howard still on Talk? Does Howard still get on?
Howard gets on now and
Howard
again,
gets
but
on.
look,
Howard's different.
they're owned by Farage, aren't they? Basically, that's the bottom line.
Well,
They're Farage's.
GB News,
Yeah,
GB News is.
they're Farage fans, and look, I mean, I prefer the guys over at GB News. I mean, a number of them. Before I closed my X account down because it was driving me mad, I had Martin Daubney following me, Nana Akua, I think Patrick Christie followed me. Alex Phillips. There was a few of them that followed me on X, which was nice. I don't think there was anyone from Talk that I remember.
Yeah. Well, they're Talk. I mean, Alex Phillips is Talk.
Yeah, she is now. I don't know if she was then.
I think she was. She's been Talk for a while. So I think she got either booted from GB News or left pretty.
Yeah.
But
the bottom line is though, Rich, if they were following,
well, I tell you what,
if they were following,
Alex Phillips isn't doing us any favors, and I like Alex Phillips. I think she's a really good journalist, but she ain't doing us any favors with Advance. She's not even considering, because obviously she's very much. I was going to say in bed with Farage, but that's probably the wrong turn of phrase. But she's very much joined at the hip with. That's probably not a good phrase either. But she's very close to Farage, and obviously that maybe's blinkers her to what we're doing with Advance and what Ben's doing, but. Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting, Paul. It's definitely interesting. I just think banning people and sacking people is wrong because of what they said. If you're a journalist, right, and you're a good journalist, I mean, look, if you think about the amount of times any of us have messed up, thank goodness we don't work for some of these broadcasters, because we've all said stupid stuff. We've all tweeted stupid stuff. And I don't even know what he tweeted. I think it was actually genuinely racist if it was genuinely him. But at the end of the day, again, the mistake he made, if he has lied about it, he hasn't been hacked and he's lying about it, that's a big mistake. Now, if he has been hacked, again, he should, if his phone's been hacked, he shouldn't be sacked at all.
If his phone's been hacked, the evidence will be pretty easy to show.
I would say they'll know. They'll know within 24 hours if that's the case.
Yeah.
Or they'll probably know now, and that's probably
and look, at the end of the day, if he did write it, it's not something that I would write personally because I don't think it's particularly pleasant, but it is what it is. Do I feel, the bottom line is I don't feel sorry for him.
No, I don't feel sorry for him, but I don't like cancel culture. That's where I'm at with it, Paul. So personally with Mike Graham, I don't like the way he's spoken about Tommy, especially the thing that Tommy mentioned. I'm not going to go into it, obviously, but the thing that Tommy mentioned, we all know what that was.
Yeah.
When there was a definite assault took place and Mike Graham belittled that was absolutely reprehensible. So, and he's even recently he's been digging Tommy out, like recently. It's not like it's a one-off thing. And listen, Hartley Brewer and Mike Graham know Tommy is not a racist. So what are they playing at? Why? And it's just for the money, mate. It's got to be. It's just they're putting even before conscience.
Even Jeremy, they all do that, don't they? Even Jeremy Cole, yesterday, he was talking about his mate will be back tomorrow, and today he decides not to talk about his mate. So he ain't that much of a mate, is he?
Well, this is the thing, and this is the media business. This is, we've all been in business. We all know how cutthroat it is when you're working for a company, and it's a dog eat dog thing, and
one thing I will say, right? If he can get the boot. How the hell is James O'Brien still in the job?
Well, he's LBC, isn't he? He's LBC.
Yeah, I know, but what I'm saying is, if he can get the boot, how is he still in the job?
Because James O'Brien is on the right side of the argument. That's as simple as that, Paul. Sorry, the left side of the argument, but you know what I mean. He's basically he's in with the in crowd. Listen, I haven't gone on too much about it, but I got cancelled in my business by the biggest PR agency in the UK that deals in my sector, and they sent me a one-line email saying your values don't align with our values. We're not going to work with you anymore. Now, I never made a fuss about it. I've never named them. I've never outed them because to me, it's.
Oh, go on.
No, I'm not going to. It's just not important. But the point is, they don't know what my values are, Paul. No. So I try to live a Christian life very badly. I might add. I always qualify that. I try to live a Christian life. I think
my belief is, Richard, we've all got to have bloody long memories. When the time comes, we've got to have long memories.
Oh, you better believe it. You better believe it because
very long memories.
The thing about it is, how can they say that they know what my values are? They don't.
They don't.
And that's the point I'm making, and that's what people are making now. All of a sudden, because Mike Graham has probably done something after a few beers. And again, I don't know exactly what he said, but was probably a bit close to the knuckle. He's probably a bit pissed up. Oh, look at this! It's full of whatever, and sent a tweet or something on Facebook, and he's regretted it, tried to change it, and now his world's imploded. And I just think it shows you the sort of society we're living in.
But it's the thing for me, Richard. Right? If he did write what he wrote. What he's previously said about Tommy makes it even worse.
Because you better believe it.
Because that is showing hypocrisy of an entirely. Anyway, let's move on from Fat Boy. And
bye, Mike.
See you later, Mike. Ask Peter Blexley for my number. You can come on here.
Do you know what? You know the way I'm starting my breakfast show tomorrow morning?
Yeah.
I was going to have you co-hosting. I'll maybe get MG on it.
You might. I don't know if you pay enough, though, Richard.
No, he's going to pay me.
Oh, right, okay.
Come on, Paul.
Jackie, she's talking about the intro there. Paul, you're being very bitchy. Thank you, Jackie. 40 pence. Richard Inman's song, Where Are the Men of England? Don't talk to me about that one.
7 o'clock. 7 o'clock tomorrow morning, folks. The big launch.
Let's get it to them. Go on, tell them, Richard.
Well, listen, we've got to get it. I would love to have it either Christmas number one.
This is crazy. Go on.
Either the Christmas number one or number one for Armistice Day. One of the two. I mean,
Armistice Day would be beautiful.
Do you know what? Here's the thing, right? When you hear people talking now, when they're talking about demos, you know what they're always saying? Where are the men of England? They're actually saying, Danny Tomo's just done a video.
Danny Tomo's did one, yeah.
And he says, where's the men of England? I was
yeah,
thinking, Danny, look, just play my song at the end of your video, mate. You
yeah,
know?
yeah,
But
exactly. What, and
no,
get a
it's good.
copyright strike?
Well, listen, that's
Go on,
the problem
tell
when you
the
start
audience,
dealing with
Richard.
record companies. This is the problem. No, what's happened is, so because it's now registered with a music label, if I play "Where Are the Men of England" on my own channel, I get a copyright strike for
I
playing my
woke
own
up. I
song.
woke up this morning, and one of my videos has got a copyright strike for him.
It's not a strike, Paul. It's not. You haven't got a slap on the wrist. You're not going to lose your channel over it, mate. You're just going to lose a bit of revenue. Get over it.
Thank you, Daniel. Really appreciate that, mate. Yeah, that was funny. But yeah, tomorrow morning, the first of your. Well, I laid in bed and watched you this morning, Richard. So it's not really a first, is it?
You lay in bed and watched me this morning.
Yeah,
Did you have
you was.
Did you have binoculars?
No, you was on this morning, or was it yesterday
It
morning?
was this morning. It was this
So I thought
morning,
it
mate.
was. Yeah, I thought it was.
So I'm just in a bit of a playful mood tonight, Paul. Don't worry about it, mate. And I haven't even been drinking. That's probably
No,
why I'm so.
we will get round to the serious stuff in a
Yeah,
minute, but this might be a long one tonight. We've got 1,800 people watching. Please, guys, can you give me a thumbs up without me
yeah.
having to keep asking you? Would really appreciate that.
Send this. If anyone's got contact with Mike Graham, send this to Mike Graham and
Yeah.
tell him if you want to know anything about broadcasting on YouTube, don't speak to me. Speak to Paul Thorpe.
Mike, come on here, because I want to ask you why you told the world that Tommy's a racist. Come on, be a man and come on.
Yep. And I'll be on as well. And if we don't get the right answers, you're getting waterboarded, mate.
No food for a week. Right, let's go through a few topics, Richard. We've got a lot to go through tonight. So we'll whiz through a few and then we'll get on to the main one as the show progresses. Now, for me, let's talk about this for a minute. This is obviously a right mess. I mean, looks like...
I'm not laughing about the grooming gang. I'm laughing about the picture of Jess Phillips.
I know. You can smell her from here, can't you? She so needs a bath.
Oh, mate.
I've never seen a woman that looks so much like she needs to jump in the shower. No disrespect, but she's just, oh.
Yeah.
It's the
there's
deal.
a word we could use, but we're not going to use it because it wouldn't be polite.
No, it wouldn't be polite.
Listen, I'm not going to attack her for her personal appearance because we don't know what she's going through, Paul. You know what I mean? She could have a very stressful life, being a minister and all.
Well, I think she's losing the plot, mate, to be honest with you.
Well, she's seen. I mean, I think now this is where it does get serious, and again, because I've spoken to not the girls that are, well, I don't know if any of the girls that we spoke to are involved in this inquiry, but because I spoke to the girls that were in the first 3 episodes of ROB from Telford, I know what it takes to gain the trust of those young women, right, who have been through horrendous ordeals, and they're not victims, they're survivors, because they really are survivors, because a lot of them aren't there, a lot of them haven't made it, right? So these are the ones that survived without doing themselves real serious harm or getting into really heavily into drugs or even passing away. So these girls are extremely resilient. They should be heroines of every woman in our nation, right? Every woman in our nation should look at these girls and see what they've been through, and the fact that they're still functioning. I mean, Sammy Woodhouse is a prime example. I think Sammy is a shining light of how someone not only survives but turns things round, and like, again, I don't know all Sammy's story, but I've spoke to Sammy from time to time about what she went through, and it's just absolutely incredible that these women are able to do this. And then for Jess, and this is why Jeff Phillips must resign, Paul, for Jess Phillips to turn it on the victims, the survivors, for Jess Phillips to do that on these girls that have bravely come forward. Again, we've seen them on the TV, very articulate, very intelligent young women. And for Jess Phillips to basically call them liars from the dispatch box because they're not playing by the rules that the government set. And I honestly don't believe that these young women are lying when they say that the government wanted to expand the remit. Why would they lie about that?
Yeah.
If you're going to tell a lie, you're either covering something up, right, or you're going to get some gain out of it. There is no gain for these young women in lying about that. So to me, the only people who have got anything to gain and anything to cover up is Jess Phillips and other people involved in the inquiry.
And the Labour Party.
And the Labour Party.
I mean, look.
So she has to, Paul, she has to go. She absolutely has to
Yeah,
go.
absolutely,
For
absolutely.
no other reason. I mean, if we're talking about Mike Graham lying, what Jess Phillips has done, again,
Far worse.
we don't know for sure, but on the logic that I've just put forward, I'd say it's very highly likely that Jess Phillips is lying, and
Yeah.
that also means she's lied to Parliament. I think.
Listen, if she's lying, if she's been lying, she should end up in front of a judge. Now,
Yeah.
no more naps. She's got it absolutely right. I mean, I made this earlier on. If you want a proper R gang inquiry, if you want it done properly, with no stone left unturned and the real perpetrators brought to justice, these are the two people that should be leading it.
Well, I don't agree. I don't agree, Paul.
Go
Certainly
on
not on
then.
Maggie Oliver. Look, basically, whenever we were doing stuff about the about this issue before, again, she was very reluctant to get involved in dealing with anyone connected with us, and also she she was reluctant at that time to talk about the fact that there were Pakistani Muslims. For a long time, she would not say that publicly on television. So I have misgivings about Maggie Oliver. Right now, again, it's not a personal thing. I'm not attacking a character. I'm not defaming her in any way. But I think, yeah, I think there's issues there that I would
What
be looking at.
about Peter? I think Peter
Well,
would be
Well,
great.
Peter. I mean, the thing about Peter is this his area of speciality? I mean, the
Well, he's a former
gamble.
detective.
Yeah, yeah, but that doesn't mean that he's worked with survivors. Gamble, the guy that's resigned, and I don't know why he resigned, because again, he didn't really give a very good explanation as to why he resigned. It's almost like he spat the dummy out because some of the survivors were there's a lot of stuff not making sense, so we're not getting the full story about exactly what's
Yeah.
happened in that inquiry. But Gamble, I've followed him for a long time. He was in the old RUC in Northern Ireland. Then he got heavily involved in dealing with different sexual assault cases and grooming cases. So he has a lot of experience in it. So, and he resigned, I think, from the police 15 years ago because he was annoyed with the way that certain cases were being handled. So Gamble, if any police officer, I would have thought when I heard he'd resigned, I was actually really shocked by it. And then when I saw him on GB News, I was like, this doesn't sound. It doesn't sound like he's got those girls' best interests at heart. You know what I mean? So there's something just isn't sounding right about any of this. And I think the Labour Party set this up to fail. To be honest with you,
100%.
yeah. And
100%.
I think they don't want. I think they're going to try and kick this can so far down the road that by the time this comes out, the next election will be in the rearview mirror. So this will be in the next government's inbox, which won't be the Labour Party, no matter how much they try and lie and steal and cheat their way to winning the next election. It's not going to happen. They ain't going to be the next government. If we get a lefty government next, man, I'll be on the plane to Spain, and I'll be living in your shed, mate. You know what I mean? but no, I think that's what they're doing, Paul. I think they're kicking the can down the road,
Oh
and
yeah, yeah,
which I
yeah.
think is reprehensible because it's still going on. We know it's still going on. I think they've probably changed their way of operating slightly. They're probably going for slightly older girls. HMOs are going to be massively involved. When we were doing those films, we just didn't have the resources, but we started looking at HMOs because we got intel on HMOs that had young women in them, and we just didn't have the money to basically pay the surveillance guys to do what they need to do. And the surveillance guys were doing it for nothing, basically. They were doing it for petrol, and that was it. But we just, it cost that much. I mean, making all those documentaries, like if you think about it, Paul, we've well, not we. I mean, I was involved in the first three, but Tommy's now I think done 5 of these documentaries. Normally, to do that, you would be looking at a budget over £1 million
Yeah.
to do that, right? If you were a broadcaster, and Tommy's done it on a shoestring. So and again, there's only so much you can do. But in fact, I do want to talk to you about something when we get off air because I think there is mileage in maybe looking at some bits of intelligence that's been coming in because I think there's still a lot that we could do now on getting on live cases that are actually happening right now. But it's a question if we can get the resources and get something put together.
Interesting. We'll talk about that. This
Yeah.
one's for you, Rich. Thank you, Richard, for your Sunday service. I'm looking forward to the next one. It helps me enormously.
Well, no, I mean, listen, Big Sue, it's an absolute pleasure. It keeps me sane. That's what I'm going to say. It keeps me sane because in this crazy world, we need something. We need something to trust in. We need someone to trust in. That's where I'm at with that. It's definitely made a big difference to me.
Richard, you're a former serviceman.
Yeah.
This was in the news today. Your thoughts on this?
Wow. Where do you want to start? My goodness.
Paratrooper is cleared of double murder. Soldier F finally walks free, but more could be targeted by Labour's Northern Ireland witch hunt.
Well, yeah. I mean, it should never have happened. They should never have gone to court. I mean, I was listening to that guy Nelson that does GB News. He's a lefty pundit, lefty journalist. Forget his first name. But
Am I
anyway,
right, Richard? Am I right in saying that even if found guilty under the Good Friday Agreement, they wouldn't get prosecuted anyway?
they wouldn't go to prison. No. I think they would. I think they would. I think they'd do a very short time in prison, but I think they would go to prison. That's the thing about it. And of course, then not just that, your reputation and everything is completely destroyed. But I think they would do some
Yeah,
time in prison. I think even people that are convicted end up doing a very short time in prison, even from the paramilitary groups, because even though a lot of these people got letters of comfort, but the ones that
yeah,
didn't get letters of comfort, there have been cases, I think, where people have done a short time in prison, but they could be people that committed crimes after the Good Friday
right.
Agreement. But
Okay.
what happened was Blair gave undertakings to the paramilitary groups in Northern Ireland, both Loyalist and Republican, that any crimes that had been committed before 1998 nobody would do any serious time in prison for them, right? And all the prisoners were released that had been involved in the most heinous mass murders, and they were just let out. I mean, the guy that did the Shankill Road bombing in 1993, and I remember to this day. I mean, I remember hearing about that. I was actually in a shopping centre in Bangor when it happened, and I'm miles away, but there was just a chill through the whole country. So people can't imagine the horror that was unleashed on Northern Ireland. That's why I'm so adamant about what we do. We have to do peacefully, and we have to make sure
Yeah.
that we don't go down the road of conflict. And again, I've got a few ideas about that.
Well, we're
We'll
going to
maybe
come
talk
to
about
that
tonight.
later as well. Yeah,
Yeah,
go
but
on.
this issue with Soldier F, he wasn't, as far as I know, and I could be wrong in this, but as far as I know, he was a special forces soldier after he was in the parachute regiment. So he didn't just have a career in the parachute regiment; he had a career in the SAS as well. Now I could be wrong on that. Fact, anyone who wants to fact check me, they can fact check me. But a very, very highly decorated
Yeah,
soldier, highly professional soldier. Now, what was alleged today by one of the commentators was that there was no rioting in Londonderry when that happened. That is just a lie. The footage clearly shows there was rioting in Londonderry when that happened. And the other thing is this, that the parachute regiment are trained to be extremely aggressive, right? More aggressive than normal infantry regiments. Normal infantry regiments could be pretty aggressive. So, they're the shock troops. And things have been getting worse and worse and worse up in Londonderry. There's no-go zones and all that sort of stuff. And the commanding officer of the parachute regiment basically, from what I can gather, more or less said, take the gloves off, right? Now, why are the soldiers? That lad was probably a private soldier or a corporal or a lance corporal at the time. So not a major, not a general, not a colonel, just a bloke on the ground, right? Who is in a situation where they've obviously been told to be aggressive, and the next thing you know, shots start getting fired. There was also talk at the time, and again, I haven't followed the actual the case very closely because it was way before
yeah,
my time, Paul. It was
yeah, yeah,
1971.
yeah.
But there was also talk that Martin McGuinness was meant to have fired shots from a submachine gun on that day. Of course, Martin McGuinness was an agent of the state as well. So if you want to talk about the state killing people, Martin McGuinness himself was an agent and was killing people. So that's another story. So it's very convoluted. And the other thing is, Paul, when you're in a situation, and you know this, you've dealt with firearms, you're in a situation, if you're on a shooting range and a target pops up, you're going to shoot it, right? Now, in Northern Ireland, it was very, very murky. And I can give you a couple of instances. I was on patrol twice in Armagh, and once we got shot at, or we thought we got shot at, we went flying through a hedge line, got through the hedge line, there's a guy standing there with a weapon, right? And we didn't shoot him. And the reason we didn't shoot him is because it was a shotgun, and he was probably out shooting game, right?
Yeah.
The guy pissed himself when he saw, 4 soldiers burst through a bush pointing rifles at him, right? Literally pissed himself. But the point is, under the rules of engagement, back then we could have shot him. But I'm convinced if we'd have shot him that we would be in exactly the same position Soldier F's in. So that's a split-second decision that can change your life forever, right?
Yeah.
And you're not doing anything illegal. It's just you either react or you don't react. I had another situation in Armagh where I saw a guy with a weapon and I just didn't have enough time to engage him. Happened again in Belfast. So there's 3 or 4 times where we could have engaged people and we didn't. And if we had done, you can guarantee by the time we got to the body, the weapon would have gone, and you'd have been charged with murder, or you'd have been accused of murder, and then you'd have ended up in the same situation as Soldier F. So Dennis Hutchins was the last man to go through a trial in Belfast with these kangaroo courts, and he died in a prison hospital, in the Crumlin Road, the Mater Hospital on the Crumlin Road, of COVID, when he should have been with his family. You know, absolute disgusting. The man had cancer, and they dragged him backwards and forwards to Northern Ireland. And I think what's happened is the victims of these trouble shootings have been weaponized by Republicans and by the left and by sinister actors. And
there's also a lot of money involved as well.
Well, yeah, of course, for lawyers. I mean, the ambulance chasing lawyers, absolutely. There's a shed load of money in it for them. But a lot of the victims and the survivors of the victims have been weaponized, and I don't blame them because they've lost a loved one. One of my friends that I worked with for many years, his brother was in the IRA, and his brother was shot by the British Army. Now he was very honest about it. He said, "Look, at the end of the day, it was a war, and he was in the IRA, they were the army, and they shot him, and that's it." He was very matter of fact about it. But on the day of his brother's funeral, the UVF set off a car bomb outside his house. Do you know what I mean? So that's how brutal the violence was at that time, and nobody can comprehend it, and nobody can comprehend what soldiers were going through when they were serving in Northern Ireland, because you were constantly, even in my day, and obviously I was, mid-80s. There was a lot happening, but it wasn't as bad as it was in the mid-70s. Of course, in the 90s, it wasn't as bad as it was in the 80s. But the point is, nobody, unless you've been in that position, can point the finger at that soldier and say that he committed murder.
Yeah.
Because I don't believe any of them went out there premeditatedly to kill someone. Somebody got killed because shots were fired, and when you shoot 7.62 high velocity rounds.
Of course, their argument will be that they were unarmed citizens.
Well, yeah. I mean, and I've got a friend who was in the parachute regiment at the time, and he says no, they weren't. He says there was people there that were armed, and he says the whole thing's been a stitch up. Now I don't know because I wasn't there, Paul, and that's why I'm not. I'm not going to say.
And I was 10.
Yeah, exactly, and I was 3. Yeah, I was 3.
33.
I know, mate. I know, but yeah. So I think for the families of the soldier, it's a tragedy. For the families of the victims, the survivors of the victims' families, it's a tragedy. For the other people that are scoring political points off it, I think they're all pretty reprehensible, whichever political side they're on.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, of course, these trials shouldn't be going on.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there's got to be compassion for the family. I mean, to be honest, I think it cost 200 million to do the Savile inquiry, right? 200 million pounds.
Yeah.
And what I said at the time when the Savile inquiry was going, I said, tell you what, how many survivors are there? What was it, 13 people? Was it 13 people killed? 13 people shot or 13 people killed? However many it was killed. Okay, 200 million. Tell you what, give them 5 million each. And say, there you go, we apologise and there's 5 million quid. Wouldn't that solve the problem? Rather than giving it to ambulance chasing lawyers and barristers and judges?
Yeah, probably. Let's move on, mate. Look, this one. Look, this is a cracker. This is migrant who had receding hairline and grey hair wins case after judge quashes council decision that he was clearly an adult and rules he was only 16. A migrant from Syria who has a receding hairline and grey hair, sounds a bit like you, Richard, has won.
I don't have any grey hair.
Has won an age case after immigration judge ruled he was 16. I mean, this is just a farce, isn't it? I mean, are they taking the piss? I mean, we're both laughing, but it's not funny, is it?
Mate.
We're laughing because it's so frigging ridiculous. Mate, if there's a bloke sitting next to my grandchildren at school with grey hair,
Yeah.
right, and he's going bald, right, I'm going to be in there dragging him out by what hair he's got left.
Yeah.
Do you know
Paul,
what I mean? He ain't sitting next to my grandchildren.
I've actually got a picture of the guy here. Just
Can
I
you
don't
get
know
it
if I can-
up?
I'm going to try and get it up here, mate. I'll just see if I can get it up.
No, it's going to make me laugh. If it's going to make me laugh, don't put it up. Oh dear. I mean, seriously. I mean, how many boys at 16 are going bald and have got grey hair?
No, I mean the whole
And a
thing.
judge rules that he was 16.
It is absolutely ridiculous, Paul. It really is ridiculous.
And by the way, if they can tell how old a dead man is, if they can tell how old, but I watched the program this morning when I was digging up a battlefield from medieval period, and they one victim, they said, oh, he was about 17, right?
Yeah.
He died 600 years ago, 800 years ago, and they can tell he was 17. Why can't they tell us how old a living bloke is by looking at his teeth?
Exactly.
You can tell how old a horse is by looking in his mouth. Why not a bloke? I'm not even a dentist.
Let me see if I can find this image. Hold on, Paul. Let's see if I can find it.
Right, while you're doing that, I'll go through some of the chat. Nigel Nelson, Starmer's mate, Peter Blexley with Liam Tufts tells a lot of this undercover work on Liam Tufts. Yeah. A lot of people saying Maya Raja. This is for the Grooming gang inquiry.
Well, I mean, again, you know, I think one of the problems you've got. I mean, people are talking about Shabana Mahmood doing it. Who the heck? I'm no disrespect. You can't have a Pakistani woman running an inquiry about Pakistani grooming gangs. I mean, like, what are these people even thinking? Do you know what I mean, Paul? It's absolutely bonkers, absolutely crazy. But
thank you, Big T. Thank you, Welsh lady. Really appreciate that. And also thanks to Robert for becoming a member. Thank you so much. Steve S. Away day Sunday at Saints. A lot of people going.
Oh yes,
down.
yes. I mean, Danny's been talking about that a lot. So he has, but no, that's not it. So yeah, Danny's been talking about it quite a lot. So I think
Danny Tomo he's talking about.
Yeah. I think if people can get there, they really should get there, because I think it's, you know, it's.
He made a great point earlier.
Yeah. Oh, he did.
Yeah, I mean, made a great point.
I think Danny's really been, you know, totally smashing this, to be honest with you, and you know, it needs someone to get involved and to really push it, that can push it. Do you know what I mean, Paul?
Yeah.
I think that's
well, look, the bottom line is, I mean, what I like, what he said earlier on, is about, you know, he mentioned the football again, and I keep saying it. Look, if they can travel around a country to see 11 men kick a football around, they can surely go down to Southampton to support their own people.
I absolutely, totally agree with you. I mean, that's, you know, that is definitely the, you know, it's definitely the way.
And we're not talking about the football lads now, because they've always been on board.
Yeah, the football. Listen, I mean, when I started this, what we did, we always did stuff with the whatchamacallit, with the football lads. Yeah, so.
Have you found this picture, or are you painting it?
Do you know what it is? No, forget about it, Paul. It's just.
I thought you was painting it for a minute.
I know, mate. I know.
Ivan, thank you. After bloody Sunday, the rules of engagement got even tougher for us.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at this one. Moment hotel migrant carries out sex attacks on multiple women while cycling through town, as he spared prison after claiming he was unfamiliar with UK laws.
That is just absolutely despicable. You know, it's absolutely, completely despicable. That just shouldn't be happening.
I mean, again, you know, I'll tell you a little story, right? It's a little story that's happened within our family group.
Yeah.
So, back in England, a member or part of our family, their cat went missing.
Yeah.
And they got the whole neighbourhood out looking for the cat. And the house backs onto like a bit of wooded land, right? Just down the road, there's a migrant hotel. Whilst they're over there looking for the cat, there's some geezer over in the in the woods, peeking at all the kids.
Yep.
They catch him.
Did they get him?
Well, they got him, but what are they going to do with him? Call the
Well, this is
police?
the
I
thing.
don't want to know.
This is the thing. You can't do anything, can you? Unless they actually commit a crime, you can't do anything. So that and this is this is happening time and time and time and time again. And I mean that thing in Southampton. I don't know if you've seen the footage, but I mean basically you're in a situation where there was Muslims walking alongside them, really sticking it on the people that were on the march.
Well,
Totally
let's have
out
a
of
look.
order.
Let's have a look.
Don't ever fucking do this again. Because you know what? Next time it's going to be 50 times more. Go somewhere else, we'll join us. Simple.
Don't ever come here again. Next time there'll be 50,000 of us.
Well, yeah, that's what they're saying. But let's see. Let's see what happens on Sunday. I mean, I think there's going to be a good turnout on Sunday. So people really need to get there. I mean, again, obviously I can't get there, but people that are in that part of England, everyone. If I was living in that part of England, I'd be there without a shadow of a doubt. If that had happened over here, I'd be there. And,
I mean, with all this going on, with our kids being threatened, with the 16-year-old, and the migrant that's not going to jail because he didn't know the rules, and then you got to put up with this bullshit.
I'm so sorry that we're meeting in these circumstances because that was a horrific attack that will have impacted every single member of the community. We've just been talking to some of the family members and getting a sense firsthand of the personal impact. I'm really pleased today that we are announcing a further £10 million to support our mosques on top of the support we've already put in. I'm pleased to say that. I'm sad to say it as well, in a sense, because I wish we didn't need to put in more security. We shouldn't need to have security in places of worship, and it's sad that we do, but that just reflects the responsibility on me, on the Home Secretary, to do everything we can to tackle hate crime.
What do you know where he was talking about here, Richard? I've got a funny feeling.
No, I think he was talking. Maybe he was talking about what happened in Sheffield with Harvey Wilgoose. Maybe he was talking about that, Paul, an attack.
No, I don't think. Yeah, no, I don't think
Maybe,
he was, Richard.
Maybe the synagogue attack.
Yeah, no, yeah. I mean, do you know what? I'm not sure, so don't quote me on this, but I think he's talking about the attack on the mosque in Peacehaven, where I used to live.
No, he is, Paul. I was being funny. I mean, he is talking about.
Oh, I know that, Richard.
Yeah.
I know, yeah. But what I'm saying is, if he was,
he is talking about that.
Mate, that sort of thing's been happening at churches for years.
Yep. And we still don't know who did it because nobody's been caught.
Exactly.
Nobody's been caught. There's a little bit of grainy CCTV footage. Okay, the faces look white on CCTV footage. That's because of that's night vision cameras. They make everybody look white. Do you know what I mean?
Look, Richard, it doesn't matter who did it. Right?
No.
At the end of the day, what I can tell you is this: is that before the night was out, there was a massive fundraiser being put up, and now they're chucking in 10 million quid. I mean, let me tell you now, if it's going towards that mosque in Peacehaven. That mosque in Peacehaven, let me tell you now, because I've been outside myself within about 50 feet of it, is not even the size of a one-bedroom house.
Yeah.
So with 10 million quid, you could build about 50 of them.
Yeah. Or it could be that other mosque somewhere in Northamptonshire that was attacked the same weekend, and the guy that did it was a Muslim. I mean, it is, he was standing there with Banana Mahmood, and and all the women were all hijabbed up. I was surprised. Normally they don't let the women stand next to the men in the mosque. So I was surprised.
Well, they probably good for a bit of PR, isn't it?
This is the whole thing, But it's crazy, Paul. And look, what about the 50 billion black hole? 10 million quid. There we go. Loose change. That's nothing to me. I'm the Prime Minister. Take 10 million quid. It's not my money. There you go, lads. Don't worry about it.
And let me tell you something. Peacehaven is a very working class area. There's plenty of families in Peacehaven that could do with a leg up. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Well, maybe they can go to the mosque for the handout now.
Yeah.
Do you know what's happening, Paul? We're paying the jizya tax.
Yeah.
The jizya tax is the tax that people pay to Muslims so they don't attack them. We're actually paying that. When you look at what we're paying on hotels, migrants, healthcare for inbred cousin marriages, all the rest of the stuff, prison places, the whole shooting gallery. We're probably paying 2% out of our tax money to support these people, right? And so we are paying a jizya tax. It's simple as that. We're already paying a jizya tax.
Do you know what? I'm sick of the racism, mate. And I'll tell you what, the racism is all coming one way.
It's all coming one way, Paul. There is the anti-white racism from some of these commentators. That Narinda flipping clueless and that other one.
Do you know what? I never
bushy
even
hair,
talk about
whatever her name is, bushy hair
yeah.
Khan or whatever her name is.
Yeah.
Just vile race baiters.
I never bother with them, mate. I never bother with them.
Dr. Amiola flipping whatever her name is. They're just disgusting people. They're absolutely and don't mention Kahini.
They're racist.
They are racist. They are anti-white racist. They're
absolute
bigots.
Racist.
Absolute bigots. I saw someone. Yeah.
Let's have a look at this. I clocked this video the other day, and it was another annoying one. I think this is from last weekend or maybe the weekend before. Let's have a little look at this.
They're mixing up two different things, or Section 14 isn't something I've heard of. But I'm not sure how We Stand With Britain's Jews breaches the Terrorism Act, but we'll see. Maybe it's the Union Jack that we've got on there. Who knows these days? I mean, this is seriously as a joke. Come on.
Mark, that's the information I've been given. We'll get to custody.
Yeah.
We'll get you processed, and someone will be able to explain to you.
Oh, wow. I'm really grateful. This isn't like a train running late, right? You're about to lock me up for hours, yeah? For nothing. You're not telling me that my train is late, so don't say, and then somebody will be able to explain it to you.
Mark, I understand.
And also, you said earlier you're going to wait until the march has passed before you get a van. So we're going to stand here for nearly 2 hours. You're just wasting my time for standing there with a placard that said, "We stand with Britain's Jews." Right? That's seriously what you've done. That's seriously what you're all doing, right?
I'm not saying that. I'm saying you've been seen with a sign.
No, you're saying that I was breaching the peace. Forget the sign. Even before that, you said I was breaching the peace for standing with a sign that says "We stand with Britain's Jews." Right, with in the middle a Manchester B signifying the murder of 2 people in a synagogue this week, and you're saying I'm breaching the peace and potentially a terrorist. It's a joke. It's a joke. Isn't it?
I'm going to comment.
Only following orders, I know.
Have you seen that video, Richard?
Yeah, I haven't seen that before. I knew that guy. I know who that guy is. He's a good guy, and he's.
It's incredible, isn't it? It's incredible. So he's been
not
arrested.
He's not Jewish. He stands with the Jewish people because he's very disturbed about what's happening. He's kind of like a Schindler. I mean, he's basically standing with the Jewish people at cost to himself.
But he's been arrested for standing with a sign saying "We stand with Britain's Jews," right? And then somebody on the other side is carrying a sign that says Manchester B.
Yeah.
And they get away with that.
No, I think he say he had the. Oh, sorry. Did he
the impression I got was that the other side had a sign that said Manchester B, which meant Manchester 2.
Oh no, I thought he had the Manchester B.
But I mean, at the end of the day, Richard, what have we come to?
It's absolutely. I mean, this is the
what
thing.
Have we come to?
This is why when you look at what's happened in the last week, we've had Aston, right? Yeah. That is absolutely disgusting, and it's gone away. Nobody's talking about it.
Yeah.
And the Tel Aviv football team, and I'm convinced they were put under pressure. I'm convinced that Starmer got in touch with the Israeli government, said, "Can you help us out with this?" And said, "Can you put pressure on the club to basically not give tickets to the supporters?" Or something's gone on, because that got Starmer straight off the hook, right? Got the police in Birmingham straight off the hook, and then that vile, disgusting MP. I'm not going to name him, but that vile, disgusting MP who we've got a picture of standing with the Telford grooming gangs, right? He basically starts virtue signaling and threatening to sue people that are calling him anti-Semite. That's why I'm not naming him, but everybody knows who I'm talking about. Absolutely disgusting. And
I mean, Zara Sultana's been at it again in Parliament today, whining about. She's managed to turn this into Islamophobia.
It's incredible. It's incredible, Paul. I mean, it is
you
absolutely
couldn't make
incredible.
It up, could you? You could not make it up.
And they do it with straight faces,
Yeah.
And honestly, these people are Islamists, right? And what we need to do, I've got a plan. I've got a plan of how we can deal with these people, and it's legal. Don't worry, it's nothing. It's nothing dodgy. But we can deal with them, and we can make it. Normal Muslims. My plan. Normal Muslims won't give two hoots about it, because normal Muslims, they're not keeping the food laws. They're just like us, right? But for the nutcase extremists, I've got a plan how we can actually rein them in and put them back in the box.
When are you going to release that plan?
Oh, I did it today on a video.
Oh, so go and watch the video.
Yeah, well, basically, yeah. But well, you can watch the video if you want. No, it's a lot. It's 18 minutes long, Paul. But basically, you ban halal. That's the first thing. You ban halal slaughter. That's an animal welfare thing all day long. The Labour government could do that tomorrow. They won't do it because they're cowards and they don't want to upset the Islamists, right? Let's get right. We're not talking about normal Muslims here. We're talking about Islamists and we're talking about fundamentalist Muslims, right? So we're not talking about the guy in the barbershop that drinks and smokes and whatever, right? We're talking about the nutcases. So you ban halal, what are they going to eat? You ban Sharia courts, how are they going to deal with all the marriage difficulties? When Mohammed,
but they'll always do them behind closed doors.
Well, yeah, but if you make it illegal for them to practice the two-tier,
well, it's illegal to blow up buses, Richard, but they plot it.
Well, it is. But
the
point is, if it's illegal, it's illegal, and you can arrest people and take them before the courts, right? So these are the things. There should only be one legal system. There should only be one system.
Agree with that. Yeah.
One system of family law in this country. There should not be these poor Muslim women. The biggest victims of Sharia courts are Muslim women, right? Because they're the ones that have been discriminated against. So you get rid of Sharia courts. You ban the burqa. You make it illegal for people to wear burqas, right? And I never believed in banning the burqa. I've changed my mind.
Italy. Did you see Georgia Maloney? Did you see her today?
No, I didn't. But
they're going for it out there.
Good. You know, you ban the burqa. You ban cousin marriage. Okay, cousin marriage is illegal. Anyone caught, carrying out FGM, very, very severe prison sentence and immediate deportation after the prison sentence. Right?
I'd skip the prison sentence personally.
Well, I would just get rid of them, but the problem is they might come back. You know what I mean? You know, so there's loads and loads of things. You go after the hate preachers. If someone's preaching hate in a mosque and he's not a British national, he's deported. You get the 40,000 people on the terror watch list. You intern them all immediately. You find out who's not a British national and you deport them immediately. The ones that are British nationals, you keep them in prison until they're re-educated. Until they're not going to be jihadis anymore.
I'd remove their rights personally and get rid of them.
Well, I would get rid of them as well if you can. If you can get rid of them, 100%. But the ones that are born here that have British passports, it's more complicated. But you can remove if they're dual nationality, then you can basically get rid of them. Any of these people that are on the demos that are not British citizens, that are basically preaching hate and preaching murder and are basically standing against the British state, they go.
Troublemakers,
They go. So, so you can do it, Paul. But of course, if you do that, you know what's going to happen, don't you?
Yeah.
They're all going to flex their muscles.
Yeah. Well, we're going to get on. We're going to get on to the serious stuff in a minute, mate. Yeah. Gib Boyd, child abuser, asylum seeker appealing for bail. I saw that. In Practical Prankers, thank you. Ian says, how can I send Richard some money for a few points?
If you go onto my YouTube channel,
without YouTube taking a cut, he needs to start practicing now.
If you go onto my YouTube channel, so either Counter Media or the Richard Inman channel, there'll be a link in the description. I'll just check this, make sure it's there. There'll be a link in the description to PayPal. Let me just check this.
Send him £1 in and he's got to split that 50-50 with me.
He's a funny guy, isn't he? Yeah, the link's there. So if you go into either Counter Media or the Richard Inman channel, Ian, there's a link in there. So if you're watching on one of my channels, just go down to the description. If you're not watching on one of my channels, the Counter Media one is just Google on YouTube, just type in Counter Media and you'll see.
Well, you better not be watching on your channel because you're supposed to be modding for me. Ian, get your priorities right, son.
Well, Ian, I need you. Listen, do you know what? I was. Me and my wife were laughing about this the other day. Sarah comes on the channel, and all of a sudden, Paul's pushing her up to 1,000. So when has Paul ever sat on the channel on the chat with me and says, "Come on, guys, you've got to get Richard up to 10,000 subs"? When's it ever happened, guys? When's
Richard,
it ever happened?
you've got more than 1,000 subs. I just wanted to get her to 1,000 subs. That's all. That was.
Well, I want to
a
get to
challenge.
100,000, mate. I want the little plaque.
Anyway, she is better looking than you, Richard. Whatever. I mean, mind you, I've got a dog
listen, I'll
sitting
have
in
a-
there that's
okay,
better
next-
looking than you.
I'll have a shave next time I come on, Paul.
It says, we are failing. We are failing unsafe schools, and the NHS get nothing. Absolutely, 10 million. I mean, it's not like a. It's not. It's not.
It's only 10
it's not-
million, Paul. It's only 10 million. It's only 10 million of our money. Don't worry
Crazy.
about it. It's only 10 million.
Crazy.
It's absolutely insane.
Nina, thank you so much as always. Please don't show Scumbag Starmer again. I nearly smashed my computer. God bless you all. Keep us up the great work, both
Paul,
of you.
can
Thank you
can
very
pull
much,
that
Nina.
that Ice Kitty one up, Ice Kitty 400. Right?
Where is that?
9:55 p.m.
9:55. Let's have a look.
It's just gone up. But Rupert Lowe put a motion in against halal and kosher.
Blimey, Rich, there's so many messages in here. I'm still scrolling and I'm still only at 10:21.
I'll tell you what. I'll copy it and drop it into the chat.
I might be there. Hold on a minute.
I'll put it in the private chat, Paul. Yeah. I've dropped it in the private chat. for you.
Okay, let's have a look. Can't even see that now, Richard.
Mate, your eyes aren't that bad. So I'll read it out to you. Rupert Lowe put a motion in against halal and kosher meat. Not a single Reform MP supported him.
Wow.
Yet people still vote Reform. Advance UK all the way. Because I can tell you now, I'll eat my microphone if Advance don't put things like that into their policy documents, right? And if they don't, well, then I'll be asking them very serious questions. That's a good thing about not being a sort of, a spokesman or on the college. It means I can snipe from the sidelines if they don't do what I think's right. You know what I mean, Paul? I can get the old sniper rifle out and take a few pot shots. But isn't that amazing? So Reform, who are the great hope, everyone's really putting a lot of hope in Reform. They didn't even vote for that motion. That is absolutely scandalous. And well done, Rupert Lowe, by the way, for putting that forward.
Got that? Yeah, thank you very much.
But the thing about it is, Paul, right? The thing I'm talking about, that sort of stuff, Islamists are an absolute clear and present danger to our democracy. These people that are anti-Semitic,
100%.
They're wanting to turn this country into a Sharia hellhole. They're very dangerous people. And what we've got to do is make it extremely uncomfortable for extremist Muslims and Islamists to live in this country. The Shohabs and the Lubnas and all those lovely people, you know, that are westernized and they're educated. No problem whatsoever.
No problem.
And I don't think they'd have a problem if we banned the burqa or said you can't eat halal meat anymore. They won't care. They'd be still eating the bacon butties like they always do. So it's the extremes, Paul. It's the extremists. We have got to make it so uncomfortable for them to be in this country that they will leave.
Let's go on to, we're round to the hour already, Richard. 2,400 people watching. Please don't forget to give us an upvote. The big topic of the evening. Oh, before we do that, I want to talk about Tommy going to America. Now, I'm going to predict that Tommy's going to end up in America. He's going to end up meeting Elon Musk. He's going to end up meeting J.D. Vance, maybe even Donald Trump himself. It's coming. Can anyone tell me a better way of absolutely publicly on the international stage humiliating Keir Starmer?
It would be
Now,
superb.
let's just remind ourselves of one or two of the things that they've said, right? Health Secretary Wes Streeting wrote that Trump was an odious, sad little man. Obviously, he's never seen him in real life.
Yeah. Yes,
And he said,
Wes Streeting.
Yeah, saying, imagine being proud to have that as your president. London Mayor Sadiq Khan said, amongst a lot of other things, that Trump's a racist, a sexist, and a homophobe. Secretary of State Ed Miliband said, Secretary of State for Energy Ed Miliband said, the idea that we have shared values of a racist, misogynistic, self-confessed groper beggars belief. Emily Thornberry, who was on the front bench at the time, called Trump an asteroid of awfulness that has fallen on this world. She went on, further describing him as a racist, a sexual predator, and a bully. Deputy Prime Minister David Lammy called Trump a racist and a KKK neo-Nazi sympathiser. He also said that Trump is not only a woman-hating neo-Nazi sympathising sociopath, he is also a profound threat to international order. Told that to the Israelis and the people in Gaza. The PM himself called some of Trump's beliefs absolutely repugnant, whilst referring to Trump's comments about Muslims. He tweeted, "Humanity and dignity, 2 words not understood by President Trump." And multiple Labour ministers, front and back benchers, have said some of the most insulting and appalling things about the United States president, some of which could even be described as an incitement to violence. And with language like that, is there any wonder that there's been at least 2 attempts on Donald Trump's life? Now, for any of our American friends watching this,
can I just say, so before you say this, Paul, can I just say something, right? Listen, and I know I don't want to insult anyone on our channel, and if you were dumb enough to vote Labour in the last election, then you're probably not watching our channel anyway. But really and truthfully, they need to have something like electric shock treatment. They need something done to them. People that voted, 9 million, absolute, in Northern Ireland, they call you a buck Egypt. 9 million buck Egypts voted for this disgusting, despicable, immoral, depraved, wicked, nasty, communist, socialist, totalitarian group of nutcases.
And that's just their good points.
That's the good points. So if you voted Labour, go and give your head a wobble. There's something wrong with you.
Mate, there ain't any of them in this channel. Don't worry.
I know,
about
but you never know.
You never know. You never know.
Banana Mahmood maybe has a little thing for you, Paul. You know what I mean? She's maybe sitting watching you every night, mate.
She's a bit short for me, mate.
Listen, I'm not saying you fancy her, mate. I'm just saying she might have a thing for you.
Yeah.
You know, the silver fox and all that.
All seriousness, right? Listen, to our American cousins, listen, we need to get Tommy out there in America. I believe it's going to happen. I'm going to confidently predict that it's going to happen after his excellent visit to Israel. But Donald Trump, JD Vance, Elon, get the guy out there and give the biggest middle finger that you could possibly give to Keir Starmer and his government. Not only would you be giving him the middle finger, you will have lubricated it with nails. Right? So please, America, bring Tommy out, make him a guest, show him the red carpet treatment.
Oh my, can you imagine the phone call?
Welcome one of Britain's real leaders. Someone that represents the real people, not an embarrassment to the world, not an embarrassment for the people of the US to see people like Starmer. It's actually cringy. It's embarrassing. Get a real man out there.
Can you imagine, Paul? Can you imagine the phone call between Donald Trump and Keir Starmer after that?
I mean, listen, he's got it. Look, I think Donald Trump's up for a laugh, right?
Oh, absolutely.
And this would be worth it, wouldn't it?
It would be absolutely superb. It would be world class. Absolutely world class. He's got to do it.
Donald, if you do that, I'll tell you what, I'll come and clean your windows on Trump Tower for the rest of my life for free. Right? Honestly. But that is the way.
Just for that, Donald, get Tommy out to the White House just to see Paul up on that, 110th floor of Trump Tower.
I've been in there. I've been in Trump Towers.
No, you might have been in it, but you haven't been outside it on
not cleaning the windows. No.
With a chamois leather and a bucket of water.
No. But I'll tell you what. In all seriousness, right? In all seriousness, and I'm not joking now. I believe it's going to happen. I believe it will happen.
There's no doubt.
There's massive changes coming. Massive.
There's no doubt about it.
God, what are you laughing at now?
I'm just glad Tommy's working for Mossad now. As long as he shares the love, you know what I mean.
Oh, could you imagine a state visit, JD and Donald Trump inviting him to the White House?
I just think it would be hilarious. I think it would be absolutely.
I think Ben should be there with him.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely right.
We'll have
Absolutely.
to see if we can try and make it happen.
Let's see. Let's see.
We'll have to see. Jackie, thank you so much, Jackie. Did you see BB Audit's film in the waiting room in the hospital? Migrants waiting for an MRI scans
Oh,
to confirm
man.
they got TB. Yep.
Oh,
Sitting
man.
there with a lady recovering
Crazy.
from cancer. Her husband was fuming. I actually played the clip yesterday. Yeah.
And the driver of the van didn't even know.
No.
Didn't even know they had TB.
Yeah. Northwest Patriot, thank you very much. Nina, thank you again. Paul, did you see the Muslim doctor arrested for insightful things against Jews? I did indeed see that. Yeah, she didn't. She weren't having none of it, was she? But it's about time. She's had a big mouth for a long time, that one.
Well, here's the thing, Paul. I mean, you know, anti-Semitism is definitely a problem in the NHS among Muslim doctors. It's not the first time it's happened. Remember, there's that doctor and a nurse that got in trouble for it about 2 years ago. And imagine if you were Jewish and you had a serious health complaint, and you were living in London, where most Jews live, or Manchester, and you go into hospital, and Aisha comes to change your bed sheets, and you know the consultant is from Abu Dhabi. I mean, it's just not a good thing to happen, is it?
No.
You know.
Don't fill your confidence, does it?
No.
You know, you're just about to go for an op,
Yeah.
and you know, Dr. Mohammed walks in with his syringe. You know, I mean, I'd be shitting myself, wouldn't you?
Oh, listen, you know, the guy makes a good point there about if you ban halal, you've got to ban kosher as well. Not necessarily, because kosher is such a small market. The thing about halal is infecting every single supermarket, whereas kosher meat, you're not gonna get massive amounts of kosher meat in most normal supermarkets. You know, it's the sort of Jewish. It's pretty much kept within the Jewish community, whereas halal is everywhere. You got KFC, you're eating halal. Do you know what I mean? And you know, again, it's just a barbaric way of. And I'm not a vegetarian. I love a steak as much as anybody, but I don't want to think that we've been, you know, well, we all know what they do with them. You know,
Yeah, we don't want to know. Yeah,
it's not good. It has to go. It has to be banned.
Zach, thank you. I'm with you when it comes to the burqa, FGM, and Islamic courts. But if you ban halal markets, then also ban kosher. Yeah, sorry, that's just the one we was talking about. Yeah. Richard's reading the supers out now. Look,
mate.
Go on, Richard. Where you go?
Sarkozy in prison. Starmer when? Do you know what? Sarkozy is part of that team of dog rats that bombed Libya and caused the whole flipping crisis with the boats anyway. Look, I'm no fan of Colonel Gaddafi, but when they destabilised Libya, that's when the flood of migrants started. When they destabilised the Middle East, that's when the flood of migrants started. So let him rot.
Yep.
Richard, just show us your bank account, mate. You wouldn't want to see my bank account, mate.
I've seen it.
It's not good. It's not healthy.
Zach, thank you. Communism/socialism is a mental disorder. Do you know what? I believe it is, without a shadow of a doubt.
It's got to be.
Without a shadow of a doubt. Steve, Tommy should be asked to help the inquiry. He knows it all.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, you know, he's got a lot of information down.
Certainly, he should be on the board of advisors. That's for sure.
Yeah, we should give evidence. He should give evidence to it for sure.
Yeah. Cal, thank you. Potential for shockwaves in Westminster as a crucial by-election in my home of Wales. Could see reform win and end 100 years of Labour socialism here.
Well, I hope they do. You know, I mean, I don't hope they win the next general election, but I hope reform win that election.
Yeah.
Because as far as I know, you know, Advance aren't standing, and I don't know that UKIP are either. So who else is going to stand? So I hope they do win it.
Jet A1, Starmer wants to access Apple iCloud UK users. Is all to do with what Tommy has on him and his bent mates, who was arrested and trumps up terrorism charges for refusing to give the iPhone PIN.
Of course, that case is still ongoing, but yeah.
Yeah. Advanced UK delegation at the White House.
That would be great. That would be great.
Wouldn't it be great?
I'd have to come and film it, Paul.
Gibby boy, Paul, you know Tommy and his gang, Paul and Richard and Danny are going to the USA. I've known it for a couple of years now. We'll see. We will see. Richard, lastly for tonight, I want to talk about a couple of really serious eventual eventualities, or sorry, things that could be taking place this weekend. Southampton
Yeah,
and Whitechapel, which isn't happening, has been
yeah,
moved.
yeah.
Right. I want your views on both, please.
Well, the Whitechapel thing is reprehensible. The fact that they've banned a march
I
by a
agree.
mainstream political party.
Yeah.
I mean, look, everyone knows my position on UKIP. I don't think they're going to go anywhere politically, but Nick Tenconi and his people at UKIP should have the right to go anywhere they want
Absolutely.
in this country,
Absolutely.
right?
Yeah.
With their mass deportation banners and shout, "We want all the Islamists out. We want all the communists out." He has a right to do that. He's a party leader. He's a party leader,
Yeah.
and the fact that they have banned him from going into Whitechapel because they can't control the natives. Let's just
Yeah.
get it right.
Yeah,
Because they can't-
I was going to say, let's get it right. It's not because of the threat of violence from Nick Tanconi
No.
and his UKIP
no,
members.
it's the threat of violence
because
from
of the
Islamists.
exactly.
In fact, Lee, they're not natives. They're not natives. They're invaders because they can't control the invaders. That's what the problem is. And I saw some vile racism from one of the people that was being interviewed in Whitechapel on GB News. And this guy was it was incredible the stuff he was saying to the reporter. Oh, people like you have caused this. What do you mean people like me? People of your skin color. He even said it. It's like you were saying earlier, Paul, anti-white racism. You know, the reality is a day's going to come when we're going to say, do you know what? Next time you ban one of our marches, we'll put 50,000 people there and then see what you do. And we're going to do it, you know.
Isn't that kind of happening in Southampton?
Well, that's what I was just going to say. Absolutely. Absolutely. And again, I can't be there, but I wish everybody well that goes. Keep it peaceful. It's very important to keep it peaceful. Let the beardy weirdies kick off. Let the weirdos kick off. Let the lefties kick off. Don't kick off. If you go to Southampton, don't go and attack people. Go there and be peaceful. Keep your dignity. Be respectful, and respect the police.
Show the world
they're annoying.
who the good guys are.
Show the world who the good guys are, and let the media only be able to get photographs of the lefties and if any Islamists turn up kicking off. Because what happened last week was absolutely taking liberties. It was absolutely disgusting.
Well, I think
see
it was
women-
worse than that, Richard. I think it was worse than that.
Yeah.
This was the first time, really, I've seen, for me, a gauntlet being laid down.
Yeah, I've seen it before.
That was a gauntlet being put down. I'm talking about since Southport, after
Yeah.
Southport.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
This is this is something different.
Yeah.
And for me, there was a gauntlet being put down. And I said in a show the other night, the police have got to deal with this now.
They won't.
But they won't, because as someone was saying earlier on, the bottom line is they're bloody scared stiff of them.
Because they're cowards.
They're scared stiff of them.
And I've a solution for that as well, but we'll talk about that if we get time at the end. But I think Southampton, I know the guys down there. I know two of the guys that are organising the march down there. Obviously, I know Danny Tomo as well. They're all good guys. And again, my advice would be keep everybody calm. Keep everybody calm. You know, this is not the time for war. You know, this is a time to do peaceful demonstrations, respectful demonstrations. You've got to pick your fights. But it is very important that mass numbers go down there and behave well and behave peacefully. No drink, no face coverings, usual pack drill. You know, do it right, do it the proper way. Get plenty of take your families down there. Don't be afraid of a few Islamists and lefties. Don't worry about them, and just go down there and do what needs to be done. And I've been in some very dodgy situations in the past 8 years, and I'm still alive. I'm still breathing, and I've never punched anyone in the whole time I've been doing it. So you don't have to get violent. You don't have to get aggressive. You can do it peacefully.
This for me is a pivotal weekend coming up.
Well, yeah, absolutely. It could go very badly wrong.
And I hope that the police get this right. I'm going to predict this now, Richard, right, so that everyone knows it's on record. If the police get this wrong on Saturday and Sunday, we're going to have one hell of a problem.
Yeah, absolutely.
If they get it wrong, we got one hell of a problem.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, we're only one stabbing away, one, person getting knocked over, banging their head and dying away from things getting very, very unpleasant. And again, that's why the things I'm talking about, the measures that any government needs to take, and I've been thinking about this since 1984, believe it or not, since I was 16, right? And I really have. And the measures I'm talking about taking have to be taken if we're going to win this. You have to make this country very unpleasant for Islamists and Muslim extremists so that they don't stay.
Well, for all extremists, Richard, all extremists.
Well, here's the thing. Okay, let's just be straight about this, right? If there weren't Muslim extremists, there wouldn't be far right extremists. There'd be a few, but they'd be completely irrelevant.
I was going to say there would be, because they pick on the Jews.
Irrelevant, Paul. They'd be completely
irrelevant.
irrelevant.
They would. Yeah.
You know, there's no traction there.
No,
the only traction is because of radical Islam and Islamists. That's the only reason there's traction.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Because of the grooming gangs, because of the terrorism, because of the appalling arrogance of these people. So, and now's the time to stand up. And the other thing I would do, Paul, as well as I would pass as many laws as I could to make it very, very uncomfortable for Islamists to stay in this country, right? So it wouldn't.
What other extremists do we have in the UK?
Well, there aren't any. There's the far right, but they're negligible. There's the lefties, the lefty extremists. They're probably more difficult to deal with because
the communists,
the communists, because they're ingrained in the institutions. They're the ones that are facilitating this nonsense, this craziness. But if you can manage to totally alienate the extreme Islamists and the extreme Muslims, it's job done, because they will go. They will go. Why would they stay somewhere where it's not comfortable for them to stay? So, and it's the same with the migrants. You put them, when a migrant comes here, if he gets a bed, bread and water, and a tent, then he ain't going to stay. They're not going to come. It's not going to be Treasure Island anymore. And all of that's got to change. Do you know what I mean, Paul? And it has to change, or else we'll lose our country. And I think whatever the price is, whatever we have to do to make it change, we've got to make it change. And what I would do if Advance got power and I was in charge of something, which I'm not going to be, but this would be my advice to anyone that's in charge of defence or the Home Office, that you raise an army regiment called the Home Defence Regiment, and it's a proper army regiment. It's properly trained, properly funded, has all the army discipline that any other military regiment would do. It just does home service.
10 million would go some way to forming that, wouldn't it?
Well, it would. It wouldn't make much of a dent, but I mean, I think it would cost about.
Go some way. No, I'm talking about the 10 million that Star Wars was spending earlier.
No, I know. But so if you did that and you had a properly trained regiment made up of ex-army veterans, ex-police veterans, got some of the young lads that are looking for purpose in their lives, got them trained and mentored, lads from all races and all backgrounds, got them in that unit, got them trained and mentored by former soldiers, former police officers. It would be a win-win for everybody, because it would de-radicalise people, and this is and it would give something for people to be patriotic about. You imagine if you had a regiment with about 30,000 part-time and full-time soldiers in it. UDR at the height of the Troubles had about 20,000 full-time and part-time soldiers in it. So it's doable because it's been done before. You just do it on a larger scale. And
what about this one on the screen, Richard?
Oh, Dublin, my goodness, yeah. Well, I don't know what's happening tonight. I mean, Ezra is down there on what night is it? I'm losing track of time. Tuesday, Wednesday. What day is today?
Tuesday, I think it was.
Tuesday. Ezra got pepper sprayed. My goodness, I mean,
the behaviour of the Gardaí looked a bit suspect, to say the least, didn't it?
It's disgusting. Did you see the guy with the tricolour balaclava on, riding the horse?
I didn't see that. No,
it was like a cavalry charge. It was hilarious. These two lads came up on horse. I don't know what they were planning on doing, and then they just turned around and left. But
that's funny.
The thing is, the Irish are called the Fighting Irish for a reason. Do you know what I mean? They love a good riot. Whether it's Northern Ireland or Dublin, they love a good riot. They love tearing stuff up, and the cops have just got to suck it up, to be honest with you. Do you know what I mean?
But that was naughty out there the other night, wasn't it?
Well, listen, but then you've got to put it in context. A 10-year-old girl.
I was going to say, yeah. I mean, unbelievable.
You know what? By a 26-year-old migrant who had no right to be in the country. He'd been
allegedly, yeah.
He should have been deported.
Yeah.
So so it's in Dublin. They can't sue us for breaking their flipping contempt laws. But
I don't know. You're closer than I am,
nah,
so
they'll never get me. But but the point is, they're just taking liberties, Paul, and I'm just so sick of it. I'm almost bored of looking at it. We need solutions, and we need to put those solutions into play. And they
funny
all
you
have to
say
go.
that. Funny you say that. I think a lot of us are feeling that way. We're bored of reading and listening about the bullshit. We want
Yeah.
some answers. We want some action, don't we?
Well, I've got the answers, Paul. I know what to do. I know exactly what to do, and if people do it, it'll work. It's as simple as that. I know it'll work.
Paul says, great to hear a balanced view from the Imam from Leicester in Tommy's video. Yeah, I kind of got. Yeah, I go along. I mean, he was trying to be honest, but Tommy tied him up in knots, didn't he? I mean, literally tied him up in knots. But good boy, last seconds of civil war is ticking away. Oh, I hope not.
I mean, that's why we've got to do what I'm talking about, Paul. That's the only way we can solve these problems, and it's not cruel. It's not, what it will do if people put the policies I'm talking about into being, right, into the next government. You're going to have a very good army regiment that'll be able to deal with any internal security stuff, not deal with it, but they'll be able to help the police massively. So the police won't have to be cowards anymore because they'll have some military muscle to back them up. The Islamists will not stay, and that means the normal Muslims, the ones that are our friends, that are good, decent people, will be able to stay safely among the British population without being afraid of far-right people attacking them, but also without being afraid of their own nutcases attacking them.
I was going to say, I think most of them are more at risk of the nutters in their own community.
Listen, when was the last time anyone supposedly far-right attacked anyone? Was that guy drove a vehicle into I think it was Finsbury Park Mosque. Do you remember? And that was I think after a suicide attack somewhere in London. I think it was after one of the attacks in I think it was 2017. So that's the last time anything happened. So this far right threat is just a complete mirage. It's just imaginary.
Yeah, so it's like you say, it's a mirage. It's right. Okay, guys, we're gonna draw it in there. 1 minute. 1 hour 22 minutes tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. I've enjoyed it. Always a pleasure having you on, Richard.
It's always good. It's always good, Paul. Before you go, Paul, 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. Get your beauty sleep. We're going to be on promoting my song.
I have to put my alarm on.
So, guys, we're not going to play it because Paul keeps getting strikes from it. And I'd even get a copyright strike on it. That's how crazy the copyright thing is. But anyway, it's my song and I can't even play it on my own channel without getting a strike. But that's why we've set it up to be downloaded. We've set it up to be downloaded. And I'll share the link tomorrow. I'll probably play it tomorrow and just take the hit on it. But, 7 o'clock is the big launch. It's the big day. Where are the men of England? And we want to get it to number 1 in the download chart.
Good luck on that, Richard. By the way, I genuinely mean that. It is by far
50,000. I think it's 50,000.
It is by far the best song out of all of them.
It really is. I mean,
it is.
It honestly is. I mean, obviously it's the lyrics, and I wrote the lyrics, and I'm a genius when it comes to words, so it is superb.
Modest as well.
I'm massively modest. I'm very humble. Yeah. Ever so humble.
Right, I'm going to play the exit, guys. Thank you so much.
Don't play a tune. Don't play a tune.
I'm not going to, Richard. I'm not going to. Calm down. Good night,
just
everyone.
To Danny again.
Yeah. Oh, that was good without Danny tonight, wasn't it?
Listen, do you know what, Paul? I was
blinded.
I thought not having Danny on it wouldn't be the same, mate. But see,
I know.
I don't think we need him, mate. I just don't think we need him.
Never again.
No,
never again.
So.
No. Anyway, I'll see you in the morning, Richard.
Yes, 7 o'clock. Bright-eyed and bushy-tailed.
All the best, brother.
See you there.